Education Radio, Education Radio, connecting to the education world.
Happy New Year 2025 to all teachers, educators, and students in the sweet education world who is hard working for education. Like a excellent teacher of Mexico, Mr. Eric Avila. Welcome to Education Radio in India. We are discussing only on education.
Hi, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Teaching of English language in the Mexico. How to difficult, easy or hard?
Um, well, it is actually hard here in Mexico to make it interesting for students to learn English since there is a major reluctance to speak English. We are a a Spanish speaking country,
Oh, Spanish language. Wow, it's very tough to student makes the interest in English.
and we are very close to the USA. So many people think you only need English when you are thinking of traveling to the States, to the USA, but it actually comes more helpful because several companies, several international companies have branches or franchises here in Mexico, and most of the times the best jobs, the managerial positions, the executive positions and all that stuff are kind of reserved for people who are not only competent in IT or in business or in sales, etc., but who also have linguistic competencies in English to communicate, because they will be the ones attending conferences, attending board meetings, etc., reporting back to the owners or to the major authorities inside those companies. So it is very, very helpful here to speak English in Mexico, but especially in amongst teenagers who are my students and who have been most of my students over the years that I have been an English teacher. It is tough to motivate them to learn English, and most of the times the students we have in an English classroom are there because it's a mandatory subject in the school, in high school or junior high school, or because their parents send them to a language institute because they want to enhance uh, their chances of succeeding when they become professionals and they finish school.
Yes, definitely, sir. It's a very inspiring thinking about English language in Mexico of your side to a like great teacher. And now, what is a needs or importance of English language or English literature for the students? Please discuss about.
The advantage that a student can get, regardless their age, if they are interested in English literature, is that English per se stops being a goal. No, they don't want to learn English anymore as the goal, but as a means. What I try to convey to my students is the message that English or any other language, of course, when they are interested in learning a second language or a foreign language, is that they shouldn't aim for that, but they have or they ideally need a purpose after that, learning English, no? Or another language. What I mean is, okay, you want to learn English, but what do you want to learn English for? Is it because you want a good position in your company? Is it because you are going to university and you would like to study international business and thus enhance your opportunities to get better uh, places to do your professional practices or service? Or is it that you want to learn English because you want to understand the songs by your favorite artist, if they like something like a pop star like Taylor Swift or something like that, no? So
Hmm, correct.
when it is when it comes to literature, if they like reading, if they like literature, and they uh, want to enjoy a book, a novel, a poem that was originally written in English, then it is easier to have them learn English because they are not focused on the difficult vocabulary that English is for a person who speaks another language. They are not focused on the rules of grammar. They are not focused on uh, very small minutiae that a second language has, especially when it is a language so different from yours. You know, English and Spanish come from very different roots. They have similarities in some modern vocabulary, of course, but in the roots they are very different languages. English is a an analytic language, while Spanish is a synthetic one. And then um, having our students interested in literature or in music or in cinema or in whichever other interest that goes beyond the language makes it a bit easier for us English teachers to ease in their way to learn English.
Yes, definitely, sir. Every sectors are needs English language. And now, time of your opinion. How you feeling to the participate in the education radio program in India?
Oh, I feel honored, Mr. Khurshid. I have always been interested in um, sharing thoughts and discussing this topic, education, and getting new ideas from people who have either done research or who have acquired experience because they have been teachers in several different contexts, either in rural areas or in big cities. Uh, there is always something to learn from another teacher. Fortunately, over the last few years, I have had the opportunity to observe other teachers teaching and then give them feedback upon what I observe in their classes. But the truth is, I do not only share my experience with them with tips and hey, you should do this, hey, you should try that, this strategy or this technique might help you get better results or might help your students feel um, that they are achieving more when you're teaching them. But the best part of it is that I also learn from them. I get techniques from them, I get points of view with them, and the most important part is that I don't observe teachers to evaluate them, to give them a rating like 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, depending on how they performed in the classroom. But um, I get the chance to interview them and to see how they felt when they were teaching, what was the biggest challenge that they faced in the classroom, what, why they did what I observed in that specific situation, etc. So that is always an enriching experience. Usually, the teachers I have observed and I have given feedback to have told me they found these sessions profitable for them professionally, and they end up a little bit more motivated to keep on teaching after talking to me than they were when I was just there in the classroom as a stranger taking notes. Um, so it is an enriching experience for both me and the teachers I get to observe. And every time I get the chance to talk to a teacher, wherever they are from, who has this attitude of sharing, who has these questions, who has this genuine interest in teaching better, in knowing more about teaching per se, I find it encouraging. So I am honored. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I hope this is only the first of many more chats yet to come, sir. Thank.
Thank you so much, sir. Education Radio, feeling very proud and happy to talk with you or discuss with you on education. A greatest or excellent and best teacher of a country, Mexico. Once again, thank you so much and happy new year. And thank you so much for connecting Education Radio in India, discussing only on education. Thank you so much, Mr. Eric Avila, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Education Radio, Education Radio, Education Radio, connecting to the education world.